A very good evening. From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. I'm Vidushni Sadis Kumar.
And I'm Tarak Etiarachi. First, a look at the stories making the headlines this evening. A statement from the Prime Minister saying that today is an important day for all those who respect democracy and the supremacy of the law. Sajid Premadasa questions whether people can forget the era when attempt was made through a conspiracy by the opposition to obtain power. A request from the Election Commission to refrain from holding model elections. The election manifesto of the National People's Power Deshe Apeksha were launched. The section from Mirigama to Kurunagala of the Central Expressway to be declared open next March. 40 dead in controlling of anti-government protests in Iraq.
In your local stories this evening, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe making a special statement said that today is a very special day for all of us who respect democracy and the supremacy of law. It was on a day like today that a government which came into power through a mandate from the people was removed through a constitutional conspiracy. Subsequently, the conspiracy was overcome after 52 days and it was possible to democracy to rule the country, the Prime Minister said. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that a government which was established with a mandate from the people was removed through a constitutional conspiracy on a day like today. However, after 52 days, it was possible to suppress that conspiracy and re-establish democracy. He said he takes the opportunity to thank everyone who supported them again. It was not a personal victory, he said. It was entire Sri Lanka which won. Being able to do it without any bloodshed and legally was a victory for democracy in the country. He said that victory was achieved since democracy was strengthened through the 19th Amendment. Appointing the Prime Minister was a task of the Parliament, the judiciary pointed out. Speaker Karu Jayasuriya committed himself to protecting democracy in the face of threats and problems. No one had the ability to suppress the authority of the Parliament, the Prime Minister further said. He also said that protecting this is everyone's responsibility. It has to be done sans any party politics. He said he requests everyone, whatever the political opinion is, to dedicate themselves to protect and confirm democracy, which was won by them.
It is 1 year since an indelible black mark was added to the political history of Sri Lanka. This is a feature prepared in connection with it. It was on October 26 last year that the 52-day conspiracy of the political upheaval which turned politics in this country upside down took place. The legal Prime Minister and the government were removed by force and a government with an illegal Prime Minister came into power. With this disreputable incident, democracy in Sri Lanka was subject to challenge and the parliamentary system was totally belittled. With the unsuccessful conspiracy, the reputation of the country was damaged and it was not possible to quantify the damage caused to the economy and to politics. During the period of the 52 days of the conspiracy, the Mahinda Rajapaksa faction behaved in a shameful manner. Public representatives who invaded the Speaker's chair damaged property too. They were shameless enough to attack members of the opposing faction with chili powder and the Bible. The respect and pride of the Parliament was totally destroyed. The conspiracy was not defeated automatically. The Speaker stood up fearlessly on behalf of democracy and the parliamentary system. The Supreme Court issued a correct verdict safeguarding the independence of the judiciary. Finally, the 52-day uncivilized political conspiracy was defeated, subsequent to confirm the strongly within the country, democracy and the supremacy of the law.
නිලධාරීන් පැමිණ තිබෙන්නේ සභාව නිල වශයෙන් ආරම්භ කිරීමට අදාළව පාර්ලිමේන්තු සම්ප්‍රදායට අනුකූලව සෙන්කෝලය පළමුවෙන්ම පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට රැගෙන ආවිත ඒ අනුව සෙන්කෝලය
ඉවත් කර එම යෝජනාවට පස්සල එම යෝජනාවට විරුද්ධව වලින් ඡන්දය ගන්න නම් වලින් ඡන්දය ගන්න බැරි නිසා I am ordering that ICE will have it. ICE will have it.
සම්ප්‍රදායන් කෙසේදයි හරියාකාරව නොදන්නා නමුත් දැඩි විරෝධ
A Paham Puja commemorating the constitutional conspiracy which buried democracy was held today at the Independence Square.
ජනතාවගේ පරමාධිපත්‍ය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන ව්‍යවස්ථාව ආරක්ෂා කරන්න. ඒ නිසා ජනතාවගේ පරමාධිපත්‍යයේ තියෙන ව්‍යවස්ථාව අනුව ආණ්ඩුවක් පත් කරලා ඡන්දයක් තියන්න.
A Paham Puja commemorating the constitutional conspiracy which buried democracy was held today at the Independence Square. It was named the Aditane Pahan Pelahara, which ended without a doubt the dark era. A group including political representatives and civil society activists were present on this occasion.
අගමැති පත් කරන්නේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවෙන්. ඉවත් කරන්න පුළුවන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුව.
The Election Commission emphasizes that at this time's presidential election, nothing else but the official election results should be telecast. This request was made issuing a statement to all media. At the election of the president, results of each counting centre in the election will be prepared according to the electorate, and the district returning officer will send it to the centre for preparing the final results of the Election Commission. That will be through fax and emails. Subsequently, the relevant election result will be issued officially to all media. The chairman of the Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, informed all media to refrain from publicising or telecasting result lists through media received through unofficial methods. The Election Commission emphasised that by broadcasting unofficial results, it could cause agitation and quarrels among people, and consequently, only results confirmed by the Election Commission should be broadcast.
The Election Commission has issued a special statement on how media institutions and journalists should act at places and voting centres where postal votes of the presidential election will be cast. Accordingly, it has been emphasised that when postal votes cast their votes on 31st October, 1st, 4th and 5th November at their workplaces, taking of photographs and videotaping should be avoided. Even if photos and videotapes of postal votes are being cast are received by chance at media institutions, arrangements should be made not to publicise them. It will be the Government Information Department which will cover voting by the President, the Prime Minister, the Opposition Leader and the Speaker at voting centres. The Elections Commission has said that scenes of these persons and presidential candidates arriving at polling centres and casting their votes should be recorded and telecast only after 4 p.m. in the evening. The Government Information Department will coordinate and obtain assistance from other media institutions regarding all presidential candidates arriving at their respective polling centres and casting their votes.
The Election Commission requests the public to refrain from holding model elections. Chairman of the Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, said that in some private institutions as well as where tuition classes are held, the Election Commission has observed that model elections are being conducted. The results of these are also pointed on social media networks. Although at first glance it is possible to believe that there is nothing wrong with this, he said he informs everyone that this is against provisions of electing the president. This is relevant to clause 78 of the election of the president, which mentions unlawful impact. Therefore, the Election Commission, he said, requests everybody to refrain from holding pre-elections.
The presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajid Premadasa, said that today completes 1 year since the 52-day historic constitutional conspiracy. He questioned whether that era when opposition members tried to obtain power through a conspiracy can be forgotten. Sajid Premadasa expressed these views at a rally held in Ambilipitiya Kolonne. He was extended a very warm welcome on this occasion. Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajid Premadasa, said that the captains of last year's October conspiracy have today come forward to take over the responsibility of the country. If they were able to take up the supreme law of the country, the constitution, and tear it up into bits once they come into power, he questioned whether they will allow human rights. He further questioned whether economic rights will be given. The freedom of speech and the freedom to engage in meetings and marches will be provided. When the people of Ratupaspala were asking for water, they gave them T-56 bullets. When fishermen were asking for fuel relief, they all gave them a hail of bullets. When money from the EPF was being stolen and people took to the streets against it, they were treated with the T-56. October 26th is a historic day. The great conspiracy was launched on this day. They tried to accept ministerial posts from the back door and to bring about another era of nepotism. He requested the people to vote for him, Sajid Premadasa, who loves more than his life the supreme law and the constitution at this time's presidential election, such that unpleasant experiences such as this will not take place.
මම විශ්වාස කරනවා මෙදා පාර ජනාධිපතිවරණ ජයග්‍රහණය තුලින් නැවතත් වරක් ඒ වගේ අමිහිරි අත්දැකීම් සිදු නොවන ආකාරයට රටේ උත්තරීතර නීති ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාව පනටත් වැඩි ආරක්ෂා කරන සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාසගේ ජයග්‍රහණයට තමුන්නාන්සලාගේ පරිම හයිය ලබා දෙනවා කියන එක මට විශ්වාසයි.
Meanwhile, he also took part in a rally held at Nivitigala Ratnapura, where he was warmly welcomed. Nivitigala Pradeshya Sabha member of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Dilip Rajapaksa, Kahavatta Pradeshya Sabha member, Veerakon, Ratnapura District Media Coordinating Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Tanuj Gamage, and a group joined in this rally expressing support to Sajid Premadasa. Presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa also said that a foreign journalist asked about a problem that occurred on the war front. She was told that it was neither he or his brother but the army commander who did everything. Everything was put to the army commander who did everything. He further said that whether it is Sajid Premadasa or Gotabaya Rajapaksa who wins, a certain country is trying to get army commander Shavendra Silva removed from his post. He said that he can fearlessly say that he will not allow anything to happen to him. Shavendra Silva will go together with the army commander at the time, Sarath Fonseca, and reply to the United Nations. He said he would like to tell the people that Sajid Premadasa is a clean citizen.
The presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, said that he will create requirements to provide all students who get through the advanced level examination to obtain university education. He made this comment while addressing a rally held today at the Diyatalava Public Stadium. Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, said that as a government that will give priority to agriculture, farmers will be protected. The living standards of farmers will be raised. The economic plan presented, he said, was a practical one. Through computer technology in the world, information technology can be developed a lot. There is a large crowd who have obtained a degree through the art stream and are without jobs. They can be trained for the field of technology within a period of 6 months and be granted a job. These are the investments that will be made on behalf of youth. Courses in universities will be formalized. The number of teachers will be increased. New universities will be set up. Technical colleges will be established. And all those who succeed at the A-levels will be provided with proper plans.
පහසුවෙන්ම ඕන පුහුණු කරන්නට පුළුවන් කෙටි කාලීනව සහ දීර්ඝ කාලීන සැලසුම් යටතේ විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි දන්නවා කලාංශයෙන් අද උපාධි ලැබලා රැකියාවක් නැතුව අතරමං වෙච්ච විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් තරුණයන් ඉන්නවා. ඒ අය මේ තාක්ෂණ ශාස්ත්‍රයට මාස 6ක් වැනි කෙටි කාලයක් ඇතුළත පුළුවන් අපිට පුහුණු කරන්නට හොඳ රැකියාවක් ලබා ගන්නට. මෙන්න මේවා තමයි අපි ආයෝජනය කරන්නේ මේ තරුණයන් වෙනුවෙන්. විශ්වවිද්‍යාලවල ධාරිතාව වැඩි කළා, ඒ පාඨමාලා සකස් කළා, ආචාර්යවරුන් වැඩි කළා, නව විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ඇති කළා. ඒ වගේම කාර්මික විද්‍යාල ඇති කළා. උසස් පෙළ සමත් වෙන සෑම ශිෂ්‍ය ශිෂ්‍යාවකටම විශ්වවිද්‍යාල උසස් අධ්‍යාපනය ලබා ගැනීමට අවශ්‍ය කටයුතු යොදනවායි කියන එකත් මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මතක් කරන්නට ඕනේ.
Meanwhile, Gotabaya Rajapaksa also participated in a rally held at Halialla today. Another rally at which Gotabaya Rajapaksa participated was held last night in the midst of the Bandaravilla town.
The presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Andrakumara Disanayaka, said that their policy was to build a government where the president will also be under the law and where an equal law is also implemented for everyone. He made these comments when the election manifesto on behalf of the presidential election of the National People's Power was launched today at the Foundation Institute in Colombo. How the country can be built is included in this manifesto based on 8 main facts. Presidential candidate of Andrakumara Disanayaka handed over the manifestos to invitees. Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Andrakumara Disanayaka, said that they give a guarantee to the people of this country that everybody will be under the same law. It will be relevant for the president as well. All rulers in our country were above the law. He said that in order to build the country, a state where the law should be fulfilled must be set up. The country is poor, but the rulers are wealthy. He said that they give the guarantee to the people of this country that politics, which has become a business, will be transformed into a public service. He said that without the supremacy of the law and democracy and administration without fraud, corruption and waste of national unity and public security being built up, no government can be established. He said that the cabinet will be restricted to 30 members. He also said that he will not allow state ministers and non-cabinet ministers to be appointed. The country will be referred to a path of development. In order to increase state income, he said a generation of small and medium-scale entrepreneurs should be created. Andrakumara Disanayaka said that the arrangements will be made very soon to raise the standard of the field of information technology. He said he believes that they will be able to control the dollar. A plan to get rid of rural debt will also be set up. He further said that an awakening in agriculture will be brought about. A value will be granted to minor export crops such as pepper, cinnamon, etc. The priority of development will be for education. He also said that the path to building the future is education.
Presidential candidate of the Nawasihala Urumaya Sarath Manamendra held at a media briefing at the Western Province at the Provincial Aesthetic Resort today. Presidential candidate of the Nawasihala Urumaya Sarath Manamendra said that he is contesting this presidential election to rescue the country from the pit the economy has fallen into. The state income for this year only is 2.3 billion. However, debt is a massive amount. Each person owes 538,000 and every government has turned them into debtors. If this country is to develop, agriculture should be developed, fertilizer should be given free of charge to farmers, cultivation loans should be cut off, seeds of high standards have to be provided. He said, the corruption and waste is high in this country. For what can be done using 1,000 rupees, 100,000 rupees is spent and 99,000 is pocketed. Every government did that.
Senior Vice President of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Member of Parliament AHM Fauzi lodged complaints today at the Election Commission and Police Headquarters against a private television channel for telecasting in a distorted manner a statement he made. Meanwhile, Deputy Minister Karu Paramithana expressed his views at a media briefing today regarding this news item. The true statement by Parliamentarian Fauzi made at the opening of the United National Front Colombo District Elections Operation Office is thus. Member of Parliament Fauzi said at a media briefing yesterday that he will take legal steps against the relevant private channel in connection with distorting his statement. Member of Parliament AHM Fauzi said that he mentioned at that meeting that if Gotabaya Rajapaksa was defeated, the SLFP will be protected. It was distorted by the Hiru channel and telecast. He said that they mentioned that he said Gotabaya Rajapaksa had to be killed. He said that he will go to courts because of what was done to destroy his political career. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, he said, treats him very well. Whatever connections he had, he said he did not go to support Gotabaya, since extremists, racists and religious extremists have gotten together in that group. Deputy Minister Karu Paramithana said that relevant private channel distorting Parliamentarian Fauzi's statement is a violation of media ethics. Deputy Minister Rupavahini said that the pronunciation of words of MP Fauci has been taken in and an attempt is being made to create fear and stress among people. He said that criticisms against the opponent during their propaganda campaign was based on policies. It is not a campaign to create anger among racers. He said that he is ashamed by the way of the media is behaving while violating ethics.
අපට කනගාටුයි සමහර විද්‍යුත් නාලිකාත් මේ වියරු අවලස්සන අලජ්ජී ප්‍රචාරක ව්‍යාපාරයට තමන්ගේ දායකත්වය සියලුම ජනමාධ්‍ය ආචාර ධර්ම උල්ලංඝනය කරමින් දායක වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Minister Mangala Samaraweera too had sent a special letter yesterday to the Election Commission regarding this incident. Subsequent to lodging a complaint this morning at the Elections Commission, parliamentarian Fauci expressed his view at the media. Member of Parliament A.H.M. Fauci said that he went to submit an allegation regarding injustice to the Election Commission. He said he has engaged in clean politics. He said he has never mentioned about assaulting or killing anyone and will not do so in the future either. He said that there is a threat against his life as well. MP Fauci said that if he loses his life, the Hero channel will have to take the responsibility. He said that he was making a request for protection to act legally.
මගේ ජීවිතයට තර්ජනයක් එමණට මගේ ජීවිතේ නැති වුණා නම් හිරු නාලිකාව වගේ.
The Road Development Authority said that the section from Mirigama to Kurunegala of the Central Expressway will be open for vehicle traffic from next March. Construction of this section, which is 40 kilometers in length, has been completed 85%. The Central Expressway, which will join the Colombo Outer Circular Road at Kadawatha, will have one exit up to Kandy, Galagedera and another which runs up to Dambulla. Most of the construction has been completed in the second phase from Mirigama to Kurunegala. A sum of 160 billion has been invested in this. The significance of this was using as capital loans obtained from local banks. Automatic cashier windows will be constructed at interchange centres of Mirigama, Nakalagamua, Dambokka and Kurunegala. The second phase of the expressway consists of 12 large bridges and 130 culverts. On this expressway, which is being constructed with 4 lanes, approximately 11 plus kilometers are being built on concrete pillars. It has been planned in an environment-friendly manner so that situations such as floods will not occur, and taking into consideration WIBs received from the public, the Central Expressway is being constructed avoiding urban areas in order to minimize its impact on the environment and society. Once the second phase is open to traffic, the Road Development Authority said that steps will be taken to expedite the construction of other 3 sections.
336 Russian tourists arrived in the island today. It is reported that this is the largest group of tourists who have arrived in this country at the same time, subsequent to the Easter Sunday attacks. These tourists said that by next March, it is hoped that more than 28,000 tourists are hoping to visit Sri Lanka. There are 25 representatives of leading tourist institutions in Russia among them as well. They will remain in Sri Lanka for 10 days and during that time, they are due to visit places in Gaul, Kandy, Alla and Sigiriya.
We are expecting 88 charters from this agent. We hope to receive more from other agents also. Next, on the 2nd, we will be receiving a charter flight from Ekaterinburg, and on the 31st, we will be receiving a charter flight from St. Petersburg. Up to the March, it's about around 28,000 clients will be coming from abroad, from Moscow, St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg, and we are also expecting many other charter flights to come.
Chief Executive Officer Sean Halamba and Ryokoko won 3 Stevie Awards in 2019 International Business Awards. The annual Stevie Award is very similar to the Oscar Awards in the American cinema industry. The annual Stevie Award ceremony is considered the world's apex business award ceremony in the business world. Our own Sri Lankan entrepreneur was recognized as the Chief Executive of the Year with a Golden Award at the annual Stevie Awards ceremony. Susantashan Halaba is the chief executive of the Americas Sahins Link International Incorporated and Rio Coco Lanka Private Limited in Sri Lanka. Rio Coco is one of the leading exporters of coir husks based on growing medium. He set a record as the first Sri Lankan to be recognized twice with this International Business Gold Award.
The Meteorology Department said that an increase in rains is expected from tonight in several areas of the island. The reason is the atmospheric disturbance forming in the southeast of Sri Lanka. Certain places in the northern, eastern and north-central and Uva provinces will experience heavy rains of 100 to 150 millimeters. The sky in many areas will be heavy with clouds. The weather statement mentions that during the morning in certain places of the central, Sabragamur, Uva and north-central provinces, misty conditions could be expected. The Meteorology Department requests people to take steps to minimize accidents from temporary strong winds which could occur with thunder showers and lightning. Due to the rough nature that prevailed in the sea, the Hikkadwa Sinigama Deval Mahadevala premises was subject to sea erosion. Its stone fence and 2 electric lampposts collapsed. And with the Kirama Ara Oya overflowing its banks, Mulatiyana Kamburupitiya Road was inundated in several places. A number of low-lying areas were also underwater. 3 persons who got caught in a current of Olana Matra were swept away. That is when they tried to cross that road while it was flooded, and one of them lost his life.
That's all the news we have for you tonight. The national news broadcast will return tomorrow, and until then, a very good night to you all.
Good night.